All right, due to popular demand, I guess, I am going to try to explain a little further what you're doing with this uh, aspect ratio or using ratios with the screen size. Now, I've gone over this already several times. You can play this as much as you need to, whichever. But again, you still need to make sure you're getting everything done. I don't want any excuses, and if you need extra help, you come in the morning. Either way, okay, most TVs are built on a 16 by 9 ratio. Older TVs used to be built on a 4 by 3. So what does that mean? That means a 40-inch TV is built on a 16 by 9 ratio. That for every 16 inches you're going this way, you're going 9 inches up. But that doesn't mean it's 16 inches this way. It's going part of the way. So like, let's say it goes up to 32, then you've gone up 18, and you're getting the width and the height. These are similar triangles. It's like talking about similarity, that they're basically all the same, like that. Even though I don't draw great, you kind of get the idea. Similar triangles, and you can use proportions when you have similarity. This is what you learned back in geometry. So let's go with that idea. Now, it would be helpful, I mean, if you look at this, this is a diagonal. To set up proportions, you need some similar or some like sides, right? Okay, so if you've got a 40-inch there, then you need to find the diagonal on a 16 by 9 if it was just 9 inches by 16 inches, the smallest it could be, let's say. Okay, so I did 9 squared plus 16 squared, and I get 337, which the square root of that is 18.36, so I'm going to say 18. A 3 by 4 TV or 4 by 3 would be have a diagonal of 5. So kind of keep that in mind, that I'm saying that the diagonal, the width, and the height on a 16 by 9 TV, the diagonal is 18 inches. Okay, my pen does not want to write, or my stylus does not want to write. On a 4 by 3 TV, the diagonal is 5. Okay, so use those ideas. Those don't change. Use those ideas to help you figure that out. Okay, so if you were going back to that 40-inch problem, notice I'm not doing the one that's on there. I'm not going to answer those questions. You need to answer those questions. Look at a 40-inch TV. If it's a widescreen TV, HD TV, and that's 40 inches, then you could compare that to your 16 by 9 and set up a proportion. And you can see the proportion that I'm setting up. If you do not understand this, send the question through Edmodo, because then I could try to answer it from there. Or come in the morning. But all you'd have to do is cross multiply, and you should be able to get the answer. Okay, this stylus has done its job. I'm done with that one. So but we'll keep going. All right. Anyways, one pause. All right, new stylus. Let's see if this one works better. Yep, there we go. That looks a little better. There we go. All right, so you can cross multiply and you can find these sides. And then if you wanted to find the area, obviously base or length times width, base times height, would give you the area of the TV screen. So, I mean, different TV screens would have different versions like that. Now, they do talk about how can I do the letterbox version and stuff like that. Well, again, this is set up. Letterbox talks about how we have a black screen on top. All this would be black, and on the bottom, but we have the image here. Now let's get rid of the whole. So we got the image here. There's the tree. Let's put some flowers. You can see art was one of my best subjects. Okay, so what do we do there? Well, let's think about this. Here's it completed out. Let's back this up a bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Okay, here's a TV that's an older TV on a 4:3 ratio. Okay, but you can't assume that this is just 3 and 4. Let's say we're trying to fit a 16 by 9. It's a lot easier to say, take the image and make the screen bigger. So we're putting the screen, in this case, because 16 and 9 are bigger than 4 and 3. So we're saying that minimally, this image is 16 inches, minimally, and 9 inches, top to bottom. Okay, if that's the case, notice this goes from edge to edge. That means at a minimum, the screen is also 16 inches. So how do you find this bit here to here, the top from the height of the screen, Well, set up a proportion. Keep in mind, this is a ratio of 4 to 3. So this and this are similar to the 4 to 3. And that's where I get the rest of that I set up. Notice, base, or length and length, or width and width, and then you've got your height, and this will be the height that you're looking here, or x. Okay? And that would give you that. And then you can find the area. And now, if you could find the area of this, the image, and the area of the screen, you could put the image area over the screen area, get a decimal, change it to percent, and that would tell you what percent the image takes up of the screen. Okay, so moving on. What about when it's a 4:3 image on a 16:9 screen? Like if you watch Netflix and let's say you watch an older cartoon or an older TV show like Leave It to Beaver, just to give an example, or Battlestar Galactica, older version Battlestar Galactica, just to give an example, then you would have where they would have it fit a 4:3 image on a 16:9. Now again, 16:9 is bigger, so we're saying at a minimum, this is a 16-inch screen by a 9-inch screen. Obviously, it's probably bigger because you have a bigger TV. So again, notice edge to edge. That means the image here, the height of the image has to be 9 inches. So how do you find x? Well, again, the image is on an aspect of 4 to 3. It's on a ratio of 4 to 3. So it's similar to a 4:3 rectangle. So we could do, again, set up a proportion and cross multiply, and that would give us the image. And then you could say, again, put the image over the screen size to figure out what percent the image takes up of the screen. So that gets you through most of the first few questions. Some of the others are kind of fairly straightforward. So I don't think that would be that you should have too much of a problem. And then let's see, what else was I noticing here? Okay, they talk about, and let me get here and move forward. They talk about, say, on movie screens. For example, a movie screen is on a 1.85 ratio to 1. Why do we talk about something like that? Well, this is called a base. I'm going to call this a base ratio. And what it does is it gives us a scale factor. Okay, so that would say that if they just gave us the diagonal, let's say here, that's a horrible line. Let's try that again. They gave us the screen size of, let's say, 55 inches. Okay, that means that's the diagonal there. Well, it's on a ratio. This is the scale factor. Let's say if it was built towards a movie screen, which it's not. It's built on a 16:9. If it was built on a movie screen, I could actually divide this to get the 185. That's the scale factor, how much bigger. And I could say convert that supposedly to what I needed to fit there. That's one way of looking at it. Another way, no, I think that's kind of one of the things that we'll work on that. But again, this is one of those that, depending on how, you can easily still find through other ways. Okay, this is my last example with this, but we'll do it like this. Let's say I have a 42-inch screen TV at home. Okay, and I'm trying to find, I'm watching a movie that was shot on that 1.85 to 1 ratio. Okay, that means it would still be letterboxed. I mean, barely, but it would still be letterboxed. Okay, can I find everything that I would need to there to find, say, the height of the image and how far across it goes? Well, let me show you how I would work that. So, let's see here. Hold up. I'm going to pause for a second. What I would do first is, knowing my diagonal is 42 inches, and knowing on a 16 by 9 TV, because a wide, an HD TV is 16 by 9. Sorry, I would say, and I already know that the diagonal for that is 18 inches, approximately. I would cross multiply to get that. Okay, and in this case, when I do that, and I'll go ahead and do that for since you don't have an example like this, I get approximately 37 inches. Okay, and then if I do the same thing for the 42, do the other ratio, 42, 18, 9, okay, so 42 times 9 divided by 18 gives me 21. Okay, I now have that. Okay, well, I know this is 37 inches also, and it's on this scale factor of 1.85 to 1, 37 over x. So basically what happens here is I would end up dividing 37, after cross multiplying, I'll end up dividing and getting that this is 20 inches. Now, if you think that there's a bar on top and a bar on bottom, that means each bar is approximately 0.5 of an inch, because there's an inch between those two. So if you think of it like this, okay, 20 times 37 means, well, actually, I should say 21 times 37. That's the screen, right? 21 times 37 gives you 777. Really? Okay, that's interesting. Did not know that. Anyways, the bars together is 1 inch by 37 inches. So that's 37 inches. So if I do 37 over 777, 37 divided by 777 gives me approximately, an answer of 0.047. So 6. So approximately 4.8% of the screen is blackened. Only 4%. Okay? The rest, like 96% of the screen, is getting filled by the image. So that should help you with those. And if you do have any other questions, that's probably as far as I'm going to go. But hopefully this answers quite a few questions. You need to make sure you have this done as quickly as possible. We will start presentations soon. But if you do have questions, come by in the morning or send them through Edmodo. All right? Thank you very much.